Mr. Moore reached over and began groping me and putting his hands on my breasts. I tried to open my car door to leave, but he reached over and he locked it so I could not get out.
Fighting back tears, Beverly Young Nelson detailing an alleged sexual assault by the Republican Senate candidate from Alabama, Roy Moore, nearly 40 years ago when she was only 16 years old.
I tried fighting him off while yelling at him to stop, but instead of stopping, he began squeezing my neck, attempting to force my head onto his crotch.
Nelson is the fifth woman to accuse Moore of sexual misconduct or assault. The women were all in their teens at the time, Moore in his 30s. Moore has denied the allegations, and he defiantly defended himself again tonight with his wife by his side.
I never did what she said I did. I don't even know the woman. I don't know anything about her. I don't even know where the restaurant is or was.
These things are false, and it's ugly. It's the ugliest politics that I've ever been in my life.
Tonight, Moore is fighting for his political life. Not a single Republican senator has publicly said they remain behind him. And Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell went a step further today.
I think he should step aside.
Do you believe these allegations to be true?
I believe the women, yes.
On Capitol Hill today, other Senate Republicans echoed those sentiments.
I believe that it was appropriate for me to withdraw my endorsement.
For the good of yourself, your family, and your state, step aside.
Roy Moore is a controversial figure, and clearly there's a Democratic candidate who's very strong on paper. That makes for a very real possibility that Republicans actually lose a Senate seat in one of the reddest states in the nation at a time where they're trying to govern with the tightest of margins.
Even for a Republican in the Trump era, Moore has stood out, toting a gun at a campaign rally.
I believe in the Second Amendment.
Riding horseback to the polls. He's never been afraid to buck the system.
I have acknowledged God is the moral foundation of our law. Thank you, Lord. It's my duty.
Moore first made headlines in the early 2000s when he installed a giant monument of the Ten Commandments in the rotunda of the Alabama State Judicial Building.
We've allowed the acknowledgement of God to be taken from us because 3 lawyers walked into this building and are offended at looking at God's word.
He was removed from the bench, but later re-elected, only to be removed again when he defied the federal courts on same-sex marriage.
It is immoral. It is defined by the law as detestable.
President Trump supported Moore's primary opponent, Luther Strange, though he eventually backed Moore, but has since said that Moore would have to step aside if the sexual misconduct allegations are true.
I would probably have taken what Mr. Moore did to me to my grave had it not been for the courage of 4 other women that were willing to speak out.
Beverly Young Nelson, who says she is a Trump supporter, was the first accuser to come forward on camera with the attorney Gloria Allred by her side. She said she was working after school as a waitress at a local restaurant where she says Moore was a regular and often flirtatious.
He would speak to me and would sometimes pull the ends of my long hair as I walked by him.
She says Moore, then a 30-year-old deputy district attorney, wrote in her yearbook,
"To a sweeter, more beautiful girl. I could not say Merry Christmas. Christmas 1977. Love, Roy Moore, Old Hickory House," and it signed it Roy Moore, DA.
But a week or two later, on a December night in 1977, Nelson says Moore offered to drive her home from work and then crossed the line.
He was also trying to pull my shirt off. I thought that he was going to rape me, and I was struggling. At some point, he gave up. He said, "You're just a child." And he said, "I am the district attorney. No one will ever believe you."
Young girls can feel trapped. They can feel that nobody is going to believe them. So then teens feel that they can't say anything and they simply need to endure the sexual assault as it's happening and for many years after when they're feeling ashamed and compromised.
Nelson's account, the latest in a series of bombshell allegations against Moore, which began with a report in the Washington Post last Thursday.
The Post was in Alabama reporting a story related to supporters of Roy Moore when we heard these rumors that he had pursued teenage girls decades ago.
3 of the women, who ranged in age from 16 to 18 at the time, allege Moore asked them on dates. A 4th, Lee Korfman, says she was molested by him when she was 14 years old.
There were 2 times that he took her to his house, and on one of those times undressed her and undressed himself, touched her over her bra and underwear, and had her touch him over his underwear.
These attacks involve a minor, and they are completely false and untrue.
Moore not only denied the allegations, but painted them as a smear campaign, taking aim at his opponents.
We do not intend to let the Democrats or the established Republicans or anybody else behind this story stop this campaign.
He laid the blame at what has become a familiar target, the media, posting this video on his Facebook page.
The Washington Post published another attack on my character reputation and desperate attempt to stop my political campaign.
He even went on the offensive against his accusers.
Isn't it strange that after 40 years of constant investigation, people have waited to 4 weeks prior to the general election to bring their complaints? That's not a coincidence.
Many women and girls will wait a lifetime or many years to report sexual assault. It is not uncommon to wait and forget about reporting it because you feel like you're the only one.
In a radio interview with Fox News host Sean Hannity last Friday, Moore said he knew of 2 of the accusers who spoke to the Washington Post and that he didn't remember if he had pursued them.
Would it be unusual for you as a 32-year-old guy to have dated a woman as young as 17 or a girl 18? Do you remember dating girls that young at that time?
Not generally, no. If I did, I'm not going to dispute anything, but I don't remember anything like that.
Despite the political blowback, some are standing by Roy Moore for the moment.
The media is the judge, jury, and the executioner. So in Judge Moore's case, again, I'm going to support him. But if these allegations are true, then obviously he should step aside. If we cannot prove that this is just based off of someone's words from over 40 years ago, or 38, 40 years ago, then I think we should apply what we're expecting to happen to all the American citizens, is that we are innocent until proven guilty.
Tonight in Alabama, while no major Republicans have withdrawn support for Moore, several appear to be hesitating, including the governor. For now, though, with the special election just a month away, Moore shows no signs of dropping out of this race.
He is dug in on this, and he is saying he is going to go the course with this campaign, and there may be nothing that actually stops him from that. He is adamantly denying. He has his wife on his side on that, and as long as that is the case, he may not be swayed by anyone's testimony.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.